डियर फ्रेंड्स, जैसा कि आपको मालूम ही है कि सॉल्ट एनालिसिस के ऊपर हम एक लेक्चर सीरीज़ कर रहे हैं और उस लेक्चर सीरीज़ के इससे पहले लेक्चर में यानी लेक्चर नंबर 3 में मैंने ज़िक्र किया था कि वो एसिड रेडिकल्स जो डाइल्यूट H2SO4 के साथ डिटेक्ट करते हैं उनको हमने कंफर्म करना है, लेकिन उनकी कंफर्मेशन हम दो छोटी यूनिट्स में यानी दो छोटे छोटे लेक्चर्स में हम करेंगे। लेक्चर नंबर 4 और 5 में अभी हम आगे करेंगे। तो उसमें लेक्चर नंबर 4 में यानी प्रेजेंट लेक्चर में हम बेसिकली ये स्टडी करेंगे, ये पढ़ेंगे कि सॉल्ट की एसिड रेडिकल्स की कंफर्मेशन के लिए नेचुरली हमें सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन चाहिए। तो सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन को कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है ताकि उसके साथ रेडिकल्स के कंफर्मेटरी या वेट टेस्ट किए जा सकें। उसके साथ ही हमने पहले पार्ट में कार्बोनेट्स यानी इनसॉल्युबल कार्बोनेट और सॉल्युबल कार्बोनेट तथा बाइकार्बोनेट के टेस्ट करने हैं, पढ़ने हैं और उनकी जो है थ्योरी हमने पढ़नी है। मुझे यकीन है कि ये छोटे छोटे हिस्सों में जो हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वो आपको ईजीली कम्प्रिहेंसिव हो जाएगा, आप अच्छी तरह से अंडरस्टैंड कर पाएंगे और उसको ज़रूर पसंद करेंगे। कंफर्मेटरी टेस्ट्स फॉर एसिड रेडिकल्स। अब हम कौन कौन से कर रहे हैं? वी आर डूइंग द कंफर्मेटरी टेस्ट फॉर द रेडिकल्स टू बी डिटेक्टेड द dilute H2SO4, that is again carbonate, bicarbonate, sulfide, sulfite, thiosulfate and nitrite. Now for this test, dilute sulfuric acid test, as I mentioned in the earlier lecture also, that dilute sulfuric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid tests, these are preliminary tests. In order to perform the confirmatory tests, we have to have the salt in the soluble form. Because if we are to do the confirmatory test of a radical, it must be present in the solution. So now the question arises that how to make the salt soluble. You see, there are three types of solutions which we use for the analysis of the acid radicals. First is salt solution. Salt solution means we take about 1 to 2 grams of the salt and we shake with about 5 to 10 milliliters of distilled water, warm a little, and the salt dissolves. For example, if we have got the salt mixture of KNO2 and CuSO4, both these salts are water soluble. So if we have this, then we'll shake the salt with water and it will be soluble and it will be salt solution. Now, sometimes what happens that the salt doesn't dissolve completely. For example, we have got the salt again NO2 plus cadmium sulfide. This salt mixture will not be soluble in water. However, a part of this will be water soluble. So in that case, what we prepare is water extract. Water extract, WE. Extract means to bring out something out of a number of things. So here water extract means that water will bring out the soluble portion out of the salt mixture into it. So in this case, what happens? Again, the same thing, about 1 to 2 grams of the salt. We take about 10 milliliters of water, we shake it, then we warm it a little. Salt will not be completely soluble. Then this suspension is filtered. And the filtrate thus collected is known as water extract or WE. So this is the second solution which we use in the confirmation of acid radicals. And the third solution which usually we use is soda extract or sodium carbonate extract abbreviated as SE. Now, what does it mean? As I mentioned earlier, that our aim is to make the acid radical water soluble. When we perform the test for basic radicals, then our aim is to dissolve the salt somehow in dilute in, say, water, hot water, then dilute HCl, consume HCl, and so on. We don't care whether the acid radical is intact or broken. But here, we'll have to take care that acid radical is not destroyed. So in that case, for making the salt soluble, we cannot treat with HCl, HNO3, etc. What do we do is, we prepare soda extract. What soda extract is? That we take again 1 to 2 grams of the salt mixture, and we mix about double the amount of sodium carbonate. Take this mixture in a china dish or in a flask, add about 10 to 15 milliliter of water, and we heat or boil for about 10 minutes. Then we filter it. Then again, we may not be getting full solution. All the ingredients may not be soluble, but after this, we filter, and the filtrate is known as soda extract or sodium carbonate extract. Now, why we perform this operation? Most of the salts, say you may call more than 95% or even more, salts of alkali metal are water soluble. So here we are treating this salt mixture with sodium carbonate and then boiling, facilitating the double displacement. So as a result of double displacement, the insoluble radical, acid radical, comes in contact with sodium. For example, again we take the case of, let us say, we have got cadmium sulfide. Cadmium sulfide is insoluble. We prepare sodium carbonate extract by adopting the usual procedure. Double displacement takes place. We get the formation of Na2S plus cadmium carbonate. So cadmium carbonate again is a solid that remains there, and sulfide ion comes here and this becomes soluble, and now we can perform the usual tests by taking this soda extract or sodium carbonate extract. Now, while performing the conformity tests with sodium carbonate extract, we have to take a little care also. Why? We have seen here that this cadmium sulfide got converted to this, cadmium carbonate is there, but there must be some unreacted sodium carbonate also. So we'll have to first decompose it. So usually what happens that whenever we use sodium carbonate extract as a solution for performing the conformity tests, we acidify that 1 or 2 milliliter of sodium carbonate extract with dilute acetic acid usually, and sometimes with dilute HN3 also. We heat for some time, boil a little, so as to decompose the undecomposed carbonates there. Then after that, that solution becomes now ready for performing various tests. Now, this was basically the solutions which we require while performing the conformity tests. Now, we come over to the conformity tests as such. So, first of all, again, we come over to, first is carbonates and bicarbonates. All bicarbonates are soluble in water. However, in case of carbonates, only alkali metal carbonates and ammonium, etc., they are soluble in water. Other carbonates are not soluble in water. So in that case, we have to take them separately. That is insoluble carbonate, and second category will be soluble carbonates and bicarbonates. So first of all is insoluble carbonate. For example, we take the case of calcium carbonate. This is not soluble in water. So first operation again will be, we have to treat this salt mixture containing, say, this cadmium carbonate with water. As usual, I said that carbonate is insoluble. It will not be soluble. Then we filter that suspension and we get one filtrate and one residue. Now, since our preliminary test has indicated carbonate because of evolution of carbon dioxide gas with dilute H2SO4, so naturally carbonate is present, but whether it is soluble or insoluble, that we'll have to see. So how can we check? We add a few drops of dilute H2SO4 to the residue, because if carbonate is insoluble, it must be present in the residue. So then, in case of insoluble carbonates, the carbon dioxide gas will be evolved from the residue. So that will confirm that insoluble carbonate is there. But suppose, now, second, we take the case of soluble carbonate, bicarbonate. Now, as I said earlier, that we are to shake the salt with water and it is not soluble, then we are to say divide it into two parts. One is the residue, the other is solution. We added a few drops of H2SO4 to the residue. We did not get any gas. Although we had got carbon dioxide gas in the dilute H2SO4 test. Then the chance is that it may be soluble carbonate or bicarbonate. Then how do we come to know? To that filtrate, we add a few drops of dilute H2SO4. If soluble carbonate or bicarbonate, both or any of the two is present, it will give carbon dioxide gas. Now question arises that is it soluble carbonate or bicarbonate? So we'll have to make a distinction. That distinction we make with the help of magnesium sulfate test. What this magnesium sulfate test is? You know, magnesium sulfate is soluble in water. We take that a portion of that filtrate, that is the solution, which may contain soluble carbonate or bicarbonate, and to it we add small amount of say a milliliter or so of magnesium sulfate solution. If we have got carbonate, let us say sodium carbonate, we add magnesium sulfate into it, we get magnesium carbonate and sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate is soluble in water. What we'll get? A white precipitate here. So if we get white precipitate in cold, then it will be soluble carbonate. But if we do not get white precipitate with magnesium sulfate in cold, then it may be bicarbonate. How? So suppose we have got this is sodium bicarbonate. We add magnesium sulfate to it. We get the formation of magnesium bicarbonate plus sodium sulfate. And this is soluble. Matlab, there is no precipitate formation. Then we heat this. When heat this, then we get the formation of magnesium carbonate plus carbon dioxide plus water, and this is a white PPT. So what the test is? That to the soluble part of the carbonate or bicarbonate, we add magnesium sulfate solution. If we get white precipitate in cold, it is soluble carbonate. If we do not get white precipitate in cold, then we heat it. And if upon heating the white precipitate appears, that indicates the presence of bicarbonate. So this is how we are to confirm the presence of insoluble carbonate or soluble carbonate or bicarbonate.